Hi everybody! Today I'm going to decode Wonka, and I am very thrilled to decode this movie because it is clearly about meltology and the plasma apocalypse. This magenta pink color caught my attention as it is the same color as in Barbie. And we saw in my decode about the plasma apocalypse that this color is linked to chaos and to Saint Barbara. The flamingos are also a symbol we saw in the Barbie movie and also in Leave the World Behind. And they are related to Messi in Miami. And I decoded this symbolism in my last video about Leave the World Behind. The flamingo symbolism is everywhere in this movie. Wonka is a prequel film that came out on December the 8th, and the character of Willy Wonka is played by the actor Timothée Chalamet. Before him, two other actors played this character of Willy Wonka. He was portrayed by Gene Wilder in the 1971 film adaptation Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and then by Johnny Depp in the 2005 film adaptation Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Tim Burton. I watched the three movies. All of them give us interesting clues, but in my opinion, the first one was the best. The expressions of the actor portray very well this character. He has this mischievous and enigmatic look at times. But the prequel is very pleasant to watch and also contains important information. As it is clear that those movies are about the plasma apocalypse, aka Phoenix event, electromagnetic discharge, or worldwide cataclysm, whatever you want to call it, as you will see in this presentation, I was wondering why the title of the Chocolate Factory. Then it suddenly became obvious that it refers to the event that melted the world like chocolate. This is why I said that this movie has to do with meltology. According to meltology, all mountains are melted red bricks structures. Bricks, when submitted to extreme heat, melt and morph into rocks and adopt different states of matter. I want to make a video on this topic with different experts explaining and illustrating this phenomenon. But for now, I will show you a few pictures. When bricks melt, it often looks like chocolate. And with the heat, they become completely liquid. Now, if you still had doubts that this movie is about meltology and the X Factor event, aka Phoenix event, take a look at this screenshot in which we see Charlie and this wall with transitioning bricks. And here in this scene, we have brick internals. And here we have the chocolate room. Do you think it is a coincidence that this room is made of red bricks, while the rest of the building isn't? And in the Wonka movie, we have this tunnel with bricks that have the color of chocolate. In the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory poster, we have a lot of symbolism. For example, we have the sugar cane, and this has the shape of a hook, the J. And J is the 10th letter of the alphabet. And in my previous videos, we saw that the X is linked to the Wheel of Fortune tarot card. And 10 in Roman cipher is represented by an X. We can also see the X on this lollipop. And it represents Rupus Nigra and the four rivers at the North Pole. Lollipops are also a code. Lola is the moon. And our dome is going to pop during the X Factor event. So to me, this could very well represent this. This symbolism of the sugar cane is everywhere in the old Willy Wonka movie, as well as in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory one. In the candy shop, the shopkeeper refers to Willy Wonka as the Candy Man. And the Candyman was a horror movie showing a man with a hook. In the Candyman movie, we have the bonfire symbolism. And in my video about the plasma apocalypse, we saw that the bonfire is linked to John the Baptist. And we saw that John the Baptist was born on June the 24th. 24 is the Jupiter symbol and also the letter X. Remember, we saw the bonfire symbolism in the Barbie movie and in Back to the Future. And in Back to the Future, we also have the hook symbolism. Here we can see the doc telling Marty that everything's gonna be alright as long as the car hits the wire with the connecting hook at precisely 88 miles per hour. And here on his side you can see Elite Barber Shop. Barber is linked to Barbara, so we would have L light, which is the light of L. And Barber refers to Barbara, that is linked to thunder. It was Doc's idea to harness the lightning from the thunderstorm in order to channel it into the flux capacitor. In the movie, they really insist on this hook, which runs directly into the flux capacitor. Remember, the DeLorean represents the Earth. The DeLorean car is 52 in Chaldean matching element tellurium, and you can see very well that this is the Earth. So here Doc says, meanwhile, we've outfitted the time vehicle with this big pole and hook. Very interesting indeed. So the Earth would be the time vehicle, and a hook was placed on the Earth to harvest lightning and channel it into the flux capacitor, that is, Mr. Fusion, the nuclear reactor. So now reading this word pole, I'm thinking about the name of Willy Wonka. The pole would be the Willy. Here Doc says that he needs a nuclear reaction, confirming that the flux capacitor is a nuclear reactor. As you can see, they give us a very detailed explanation of how it works. The wire connected to the clock tower is suspended over the street between two street lamps. Then the car has to be driven towards the cable, accelerating to 88 miles per hour. And when the hook makes contact with the wire, 1.21 gigawatts are sent into the flux capacitor. And this allows time travel back to the future. After the explanation, Doc did a demonstration. And the car set on fire after hitting the cable. So is this a representation of the Earth on fire after an electric discharge? And this here looks like a bonfire, and bonfires are related to Saint John the Baptist. And everything I've explained in my video about the plasma apocalypse. So here we have a common pattern. The DeLorean with the hook and fire, and the Candyman with the hook, also with this bonfire symbol. And in the Wonka movie, we had Wonka's shop setting on fire. And we can see that on each side of his shop there is a cauldron. The cauldron is a reference to Saint Ignatius of Loyola. We can see that his coat of arms represent two wolves on each side of a cauldron. His coat of arms here have the colors of the phoenix, same color as Gryffindor and the Order of the Phoenix in Harry Potter. It's all about the Phoenix event. Ignatius of Loyola founded the religious order of the Society of Jesus. Society of Jesus is 57 in Chaldean, matching element lanthanum that has the symbol of a lens with fire in the background. And this element means burns easily when ignited. So this matches his name, to ignite, Ignatius. And this has to do with fire. Ignis means fire. This person probably never existed and is just a matrix code. If he did exist, then he was coded by the machine, by the simulation, to play this role. With 57, we also have Sulpicius Gallus M, that is our crater, and the leaky cauldron, once again linked to Harry Potter. In the first Willy Wonka movie, they don't use the word cauldron or use the image of a cauldron, but Willy Wonka refers to the boiler and to the furnace. One child didn't make it and ended up in the boiler, and another one in the furnace. And Charlie asks, "Mr. Wonka, they won't really be burnt in the furnace, will they?" People sent into the furnace reminded me of Moloch. Moloch is represented by a bull and sometimes by an owl. The bull is the Taurus, and it represents the Taurus field of the earth. And the owl represents the same thing. Apparently, we are the children sacrificed in the furnace. Willy Wonka spoke about the boiler, and we saw a reference to the boiler in my last video about 2024, in which I spoke about Back to the Future 3. Here is what we had. This is a picture of the boiler of the train exploding. This is the train pushing the DeLorean, and we can see that this exploded. So this is a slide from Back to the Future, and it's very interesting because we have this device measuring the temperature of the firebox. It indicates that there is something generating fire, and when it enters the red zone, Doc said that the boiler would explode. Because of an overdrive, an excess of speed, the machine entered the red zone and exploded. It's amazing to see that both Willy Wonka and Back to the Future have a reference to the boiler. And this is because those two movies are telling us the same story, but just in different ways. Now, the train in Back to the Future 3 has the number 131. 131 is the atomic mass of element xenon, and this element has the symbol of a lightning bolt. Back to the Future is all about the lightning and the overdrive. So is it the same in the story of Willy Wonka? I would say so. Look at the chocolate made by Wonka in the recent movie, The Bolt of Lightning. And in the old Willy Wonka movie, lightning is mentioned in the contract that the children have to sign in order to visit Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. And it is also mentioned on TV concerning the 5 golden tickets, and this is what they say on the news. Like 5 lucky bolts of lightning, ready to strike at any point on the map. And the overdrive is also mentioned indirectly in the old Wonka movie, and this happens in Wonka's boat. It's interesting that the roof of the boat is a merry-go-round. The boat started speeding faster and faster, and everybody was afraid and asking to get out, but it was not possible. Here they are saying, "We're going too fast." And they ask, why doesn't he stop the boat? But he seems to be enjoying it, and he says faster. And this is one of the strangest scenes in the movie. And he says lots of weird things. Here, for example, he's asking if the fires of hell are blowing, or if the fires of hell are a blowing, which would mean a blast, like a nuclear blast. And we have the red light for the red sky. And in this scene, people are seeing all kinds of scary visions. I think that this is the most disturbing scene of the movie, and they are going faster and faster into the tunnel. So we've just seen the overdrive in the merry-go-round. This concept is very important because this is what seems to be causing the overload and as a consequence the melt. Now let's have a look at the symbolism of the name Willy Wonka. The Willy is the dick, and it could represent the pole connected to the DeLorean in Back to the Future, as we've seen before. And Wonka probably comes from the word wonky. Wonky means crooked. It also means unsteady, shaky, rocky. And the third definition is not functioning correctly, faulty. Concerning the second definition, it also has some truth, as I've always said that the matrix is an unstable system. The Earth is 85 in English ordinal, matching the word matrix. So this says it all, the Earth is the matrix. And it matches element astatine. And astatine comes from the Greek astatos, that means unstable. And we also have this. The Earth machine is 138 in English ordinal, matching the atomic mass of element lanthanum. And we've seen that this is the phoenix element, meaning it burns when ignited. Lanthanum element 57, matching the Truman Show. Sulpicius Gallus M, our crater. Electrical discharge. Nuclear weapon. Containment wall, the death machine, the pot of ash, the prison earth, and Queen of Hearts, who represents Saint Barbara linked to thunder. But let's go back to the first definition. This word comes from crook, and here Charlie's grandfather tells him he's a crook. The crook, the hook, and the cane are the same. So no wonder why we have a lot of cane symbolism in Willy Wonka. Even gematria confirms that the crook and the hook are the same. Here we have 35 in Chaldean, matching the word simulation. So Willy Wonka would mean the pole that is crooked because it has a hook. This suits what we have in Back to the Future, the pole and the hook that they've outfitted the DeLorean with. We saw before that the DeLorean represents the Earth, and even in alchemy we are shown that there is a hook on the Earth. This is the symbol of element cadmium, and we can see the Earth in the background, indicating that it is a representation of the Earth. And this symbol is very telling. We can see the Earth with the hook. Cadmium is the 48th element of the periodic table, and 48 is the double X I spoke about in my last video. The Tower card is 48 in Chaldean. It is one of the two cards representing Saint Barbara and the thunder. Thanks to the hook, the lightning could strike the DeLorean and channel the lightning bolt into the flux capacitor that is the reactor. Card 48 in the Tarot is the Queen of Cups that also represents Saint Barbara, as she wears a crown like a queen and holds a cup. The Queen of Cups is the Queen of Hearts. With 48 in Chaldean we have Deus Ex Machina, and remember we had the Earth machine being 138 in English ordinal, matching the atomic mass of element lanthanum, the 57th element, and Queen of Cups is 57. Here we have Marty preparing the DeLorean to travel back to the future. He has to connect the pole and the hook to the flux capacitor. I think that it is what Willy Wonka symbolizes. Here I will digress a little to show you this sign saying Bluebird Motel, and this is a reference to the MK Ultra program called Project Bluebird. The hook or crook symbolism has been used a lot in religion, where they mention the shepherd's crook, and for Christmas. We also have it here as a symbol of Osiris, the crook and the flail, forming an X. And we have the famous Captain Hook, and the pirate symbolism, that also has to do with an X, and death. In his ship, he has the pirate skull and crossed bones symbolism. Here he is pointing up using the Jupiter finger. Same sign as John the Baptist, who was born on June 24. And 24 is the X. Not a coincidence he has the crossed bones symbolism and he's doing this sign. He's dressed in red, probably as a reference to the red plasma, the red sky. Same thing here, Jupiter finger. Same sign, made by Messi, Trump, Barbie, etc. And here we have Willy Wonka doing it. The hook is also linked to Maui, the demigod in Moana. Here we can see Maui's hook, and this is his weapon. And we can also see this heart. And remember, heart is an anagram of Earth. Earth is the heart-shaped box. And heart is the core. The reactor is the core. So we have the same symbolism, something hooked to the Earth. Same symbolism as the DeLorean with the hook. And same symbol as the cadmium symbol we just saw. There's a drink that mentions Maui. It's called Maui Burst from Mountain Dew. Dew is also the abbreviation of Directed Energy Weapons. Dew is mentioned both in Willy Wonka and in Back to the Future. Here the shopkeeper says, "Who can take the sunrise and sprinkle it with dew?" The sunrise is a symbol of the phoenix, the rising sun. So obviously he is speaking in code. And then he says that the Candyman can, Willy Wonka can. In Back to the Future, we have this man with the cap saying Mountain Dew, staring at the viewers. We cannot miss it. And what is interesting is that Mountain Dew is 139 in English ordinal, matching 88 miles per hour in Chaldean. So I was wondering, Mountain Dew, what would be the mountain? Maybe it is about Mount Meru being used as a dew, being used as a weapon. Mountain Dew is 139 in English ordinal, matching Groundhog Day, Cable 54 signal, Manslaughter, Paradise Lost, Punishment, Thunderbolt, and 88 miles per hour. I don't think it is a coincidence that Truman's boat has the number 139. 139 is the 34th prime number, matching Sulpicius and crater Earth. Our crater is Sulpicius Gallus, and we also have Purgatory. 34 in alchemy matches element selenium that represents the moon. With 139, we also have Thunderbolt. And that's what the Truman Show is about. It's about the event and the storm. Here we have Christoph controlling from the moon, giving orders to send lightning to Truman's boat. The bow of Truman's boat is an eagle. This is a symbol of the phoenix. This boat is going through the storm sent by Christoph. And the mast of the boat, that is the pole, gets struck by lightning. And the same phenomenon is described in the series Manifest. And you can see it here in this other scene. And to end up with this hook symbolism linked to thunder, A few days ago I came across this video from Machine Gun Kelly, and the title is Bloody Valentine. Cupid or Valentine is not what we've been told it is. It has to do with thunder. The arrow is the thunder. The arrow in the heart, the hook in the heart, the dart in the heart, same symbolism. I spoke about Valentine on my Patreon in the Barbenheimer video part 2. You have a link to my Patreon in the description of the video. Now on this image you can see the hook. You can see that the man in the bathtub is wearing magenta wristbands. This magenta color that we are seeing everywhere nowadays, especially since the Barbie movie. So here Megan Fox threw her hair dryer into the bathtub, and the singer got electrocuted, and it produced lightning and this magenta pink light. So this magenta color is definitely linked to lightning and thunderbolts. And as you can see, we have this hook or cane symbolism. As we are speaking about the magenta, I will end this video showing you how important this color is in Willy Wonka. So first of all, there is a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory musical. And as you can see, they use a lot this magenta. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Tim Burton version, we have Violet Beauregard and her mother dressed with magenta outfit. And we also have it in this scene in the chocolate room. I come back to this picture because the symbolism is amazing. In the background we have the X indicating the X Factor event, and also everything we saw before. And we have lots of cups in the background, meaning it is a representation of the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is Saint Barbara, aka Barbie, hence the pink symbolism. It is the same symbolism as Messi doing the X dressed in pink and having lots of cups. And finally, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory from 1971, the chocolate bars have this magenta color, which was not a common color at that time. And finally, in Wonka, we have this scene of what seems to be a Twin Pines symbolism. Twin Pines like in Back to the Future. Not a coincidence that Doc asked Marty to meet him at Twin Pines Mall at 1:15. 115 matches element moscovium that has the symbol of the X. And with 115, we have Armageddon in English ordinal. Well, that was all for the first part of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.